Okay, we've got Robert Goodwin with us today. How you doing, Robert?
Not too bad, Heidi. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. So, how about you tell us a little about this your one world idea?
Okay, well, One World is actually a organization. What we're trying to do is create awareness to the entire world where everybody knows that we are one world and one people, and we've only got one shot to get this right. And if we fail, we're pretty much going to go the same way as the dinosaurs. We don't have any other option at this point. It's either we work together or we die. So my goal is to get the entire world working together for a common goal to essentially allow the continuation of the species.
Right. What do you think that would work as a common goal for humanity?
At this point, I'm not entirely sure there is one that all of humanity will agree with. However, I think we can agree on a few key points, like one, that we need a universal basic income. At this point, the machines and robots and technology is going to reach a point in the fairly near future where humans quite literally are not going to be able to have jobs. So we're going to need some way to alleviate that stress. And the only way that I can personally see is to set up something like a universal basic income where everybody is guaranteed to have some form of income regardless of whether or not they have a job. I do believe that it should be tied to things like volunteer work. It should be tied to things like birth control. That way you're not abusing the system. However, I haven't really worked out all the details of that yet. I think greater minds than mine will probably do a lot more work in that area.
Okay. Uh, what do you see? How do you see space exploration as kind of a relief valve for humanity?
Well, I'm hoping that Elon Musk is successful with his reusable rockets because if he is, that's going to open up space to pretty much everyone. I mean, there's going to be a number of people that still won't go. However, it will allow anybody that actually has the drive and determination to get to space just because the cost will be low enough where somebody that makes a couple $100,000 in a few years, they'll be able to go. And because of that, you're going to see a lot of business opportunities arise in the space industry, such as in the mining communities. We'll be able to mine asteroids. We'll be able to set up colonies out there. We'll be able to set up transportation industries. There will be a lot of other industries that get created just because we are able to go to space cheaply. However, it's all contingent on whether or not Musk is successful.
Of course. So, so, what do you think of what do you think of decentralized space? Like anybody can do it if they have the money or the will.
As far as let me see if I've got the question right. Yeah, you're asking me what do I think of like a decentralized space idea so that people do not have to use like a major corporation.
Yeah, anybody can pretty much download plans for their own rocket, that kind of thing.
I think that's a nice idea. However, I don't think it's very realistic just because the vast majority of people aren't going to do that. And even if they could do that, due to the restrictions on the like safety, you're just not going to be able to have civilians doing that without some form of oversight, which means that the average person still isn't going to be able to do it even if they could download their own rocket. They could potentially launch something into space, however, they aren't going to be able to launch themselves without great risk.
Okay. Yeah. So, sounds like this mining idea is going to take off. And what do you think of that creating jobs?
I'm hopeful. I can't really say that I know for sure how it's going to play out. However, I'm hopeful that the mining industry in space does expand. Like I said, it's still contingent on these reusable rockets being created and being effective. However, once that's in play, you're going to see a lot of corporations realize that there are vast resources in the asteroid belt and all around, like, near Earth objects that are zipping around us all the time. And we can go out there, we can capture them. And there is a huge amount of materials out there that will allow us to build in space. I mean, some of it also depends on, like, the 3D printing industry and being able to actually manufacture in space. However, I do believe that that is coming within the next 20 to 30 years. So I would hope that it creates jobs, but I can't guarantee anything at this point.
Right. Yeah, so um so is there anything you'd like to add here? Anything that I'm forgetting here?
Well, at this point, I'm not really sure what else I can say other than I would hope that people go to our page, like it, share it with their friends, and let people know that there is somebody out there that is actually trying to create a better world. We are actually trying to get humans to work together, and while we know not everybody's going to agree on everything, we're hopeful that at least enough people will come and see what we're working towards and will be willing to support us so that we can actually get something done. But if you'd like me to, I can also, like, let people know the actual website and all of that if they need it.
I can link to that in the video description, I think.
Okay, well then that'll work just fine. If anybody wants to reach me personally, they can send me an email. My email address is rmgenterprises.rg@gmail.com. And you can also find me on Facebook under Robert Goodwin.
Awesome. Thanks, Robert.
Not a problem. It's been fun talking to you, Heidi.
Yep.